The third type of plagiarism we'll discuss is structural plagiarism. And this is always an interesting one to discuss because a lot of students aren't even aware that this is considered a type of plagiarism. Structural plagiarism is when we don't copy an article word for word. So we're not taking an entire sentence or even chunks and phrases word for word from the original source. Instead, what we're doing is we're mimicking the structure of the original source. So we're mimicking the sentence or paragraph from another source. Let's compare what was in the original article to what the student wrote. And what we're going to do is we're going to compare colors to colors, right? So let's take a look at the red in the original article, the red in what the student wrote. Recent work has underscored the vulnerability of university students. That was in the original article. What the student wrote was, recent research has shown how vulnerable college students are. Let's really compare this, right? Recent work, recent research has underscored, has shown vulnerability of university students, how vulnerable college students are, right? Now, we're not necessarily borrowing a chunk of words. It's not word for word, definitely, but we're following the same flow and structure as that original sentence. If we look at the black section, emphasizing the need to provide mental health support for this group showed how important it is to give mental health support for these students. Emphasizing the need showed how important provide mental health support, give mental health help, right, for this group, for these students. And then green to green, view of prevalence because they have high rates, depressive symptoms, suicide ideation, depression, and suicide. We're following the exact same flow, the exact same structure as the original sentence. Technically, that is considered a form of plagiarism. Now, I'll be perfectly honest with you. For me as a professor at Warwick, right, I'm most concerned about verbatim and passage phrase plagiarism. There's really no excuse for those. Structural plagiarism isn't good, but for me in my classes, this is not something that's necessarily going to get you in trouble. This is not something necessarily that is going to, cause you to get an automatic 0 for your assignment, right? Um, as you gain more experience as a college student and doing academic writing, you want to get away from this. I understand that many of you, this is kind of how you write, but this isn't writing a sentence, this is translating a sentence, right? Because you're taking that article and you're kind of changing the words up. We want to come up with our own original structure, our own original flow to sentences, right? Essentially, what this is people who write parody songs, right? I don't know if any of you know who Weird Al Yankovic is, right? But he's made a career for decades of taking popular songs and changing the lyrics, but keeping the same flow and beat of the songs. He has to pay royalties to the people whose songs he mimics, right? He doesn't just get to say, oh, I came up with this song on my own. No, he's stealing someone else's beat. He's stealing someone else's flow. He has to give proper credit and money to them. So we want to try to avoid structural plagiarism as much as we can. But again, this isn't one that I'm as concerned about as I am verbatim and passage phrase. You want to get away from it. You want to be better than this, right? But at this level, this isn't as big of a concern for me.